Hey folks, I'm back. Kinda, sorta, whatever. Like, the YouTube channel's been kinda dormant for 7, 8 years, whatever it may be. Um, it's your boy, DJ Rusticles. Most people don't know this YouTube channel as that. But, I have a lot of names, I suppose, in car audio. But the reason I'm doing a video is actually I'm coming back in the competition lanes and demoing and all this and that. I'm actually building a Jeep Grand Cherokee, the same body style I used to have back in 2009 to 2014 before I sold it. Same body style, kind of picked it up here. Pan over here. A lot of similarities with this one in terms of the build and everything else going in. There's going to be a huge photo log dump somewhere on social media, Facebook, whatever. I'm usually only on Facebook. I really don't give a fuck about Instagram, TikTok, that shit. I mean, I do have a TikTok, DJ Rusticles. I'm on it once in a while. Otherwise, most people just find me off Facebook. Anyways, did a lot of carbon copying. I don't know what exactly that means, but I'll kind of explain it a little bit. The vehicle, just like the last Jeep, 2-ton custom, Bilstein, Old Man Emu, kind of looking at it right here, 5-inch lift, suspension on it. Did a whole new brake system like the last one, master cylinder, brake lines, rotor, custom, high performance rotors, pads, calipers. I'm kind of just keep looking back at it. 10-ply Lodi tires and rims and all that on it, support all that weight because this thing is going to weigh probably as much, if not more, than the last one. And the last one was close to 10,000 pounds. I want to checkbox everything about this build, including the vehicle. Meaning, I want it to be daily drivable, musical, big bandwidth, 23 to 62 hertz, a very little dip in the range in terms of SPL output. What else? It's stock cabin. That's a big thing right here. 2,000 pounds of Vibraflex going into this vehicle, including another 100-some pounds of double rigid. That's all I could find at this time of recording in December here. You can't find double rigid anywhere. It's fucking Russia, the whole bullshit, And I also got myself a 5-gallon kit of 16-pound pour foam from U.S. Composites. That's all going in front of B-pillar. So no modified glass, no modified door. Like modified, but not like first door speakers. Legit, like follows rules in all the orgs. It's not like bolted fucking wood or steel to the doors. It's none of that shit. There's no wooden roof or steel roof. No stripper pulls. We're talking all aluminum panels going right back into the vehicle after it's done. Yeah, a lot of work. I will trailer it out of state, but in state, it'll drive around, go to shows, stuff like that. My concern is it's a 17-year-old vehicle and it weighs 10,000 pounds when it's finished here. So I don't want to go too terribly far with it, but it will daily drive. I will drive it all over the place, have fun with it. And then the fourth goal is 70s on music. 70s, I can't even do 4 with my fucking... Excuse me. The goal is like a 72.5, 73 burp. Try to be above a 70 on music. The end goal is a 60 at 1,000 watts altogether between all woofers, which should be very easily done here. I'm building a fourth order, actually exactly identical to what the last Jeep was, just scaled up bigger. Same ratio, same everything. So at 1212s, it's 1215. It's 2,100 square inches of cone. Last Jeep had about 24,000 watts of actual usable clamp power before running out of power, like into the dirt. This thing will have 55,000 at 2 ohms certified, and over 100,000 at 1. Each woofer is going to be wired nominally at 0.5. Knowing what I know, being experienced as I am, typically, depending on what I'm playing, my rise is going to be anywhere from 1.5 to 3 ohms. So we could see anywhere from 38 to up to 100,000 watts, depending on what frequency lands, whatever power output. So it's going to be pretty fucking aggressive. I am afraid I'm going to lose windshields and passenger windows. But demoing, just like the last Jeep, I will demo it both doors open to preserve the cabin as best it can be until I have to go in lanes or whatever, then shut the doors and all that, windows, and that's going to be a problem, but it's going to be built like a fucking tank. So the subs are currently reserved for, because it's December as this is being recorded, so this will be posted long after, pretty much when the build's closer to finished. Because I've been kind of keeping it secret. There's a handful of people that know what I'm doing, but it's just in the loop, people in the loop that need to know. I got 900 brand new 900 amp hours of C-Max being built by John over there at Prodigy, which used to be T3, but he's bringing that back too. So he's cool. Subs is 1215s SDDNs, so they will be pretty stout. And then everyone's gonna give me shit, but I don't give a fuck what people think. Down for Sounds, Nick and Jonathan over there, great people. They treat me well. I treat them well. Their amps are really, really good. Their amps are actually quite good in terms of power output, footprint, and also its efficiency. So I got the JP43s, the orange ones. I did that intentionally. I got 12 of them, so one per sub. Because at 2 ohms, it's like 90% efficient on the DC side of things. Plus, I have so much fucking juice from the battery side. Plus, I have a 370 XP with a excess VCM for voltage control. So I'll be charging anywhere from 15.5 depending on the org. So like Midwest is 15.5 cap. Everywhere else is like higher than that. So like I won't go past 16 on this because it's vehicle. I'm not doing like a secondary charging system. It's all gonna be one. Vehicle will start freaking out past 16, so I won't go past that. Plus it's very stable for C-Max when they're 14 volt batteries. So I can go up to 16.8, but the amps only take up to 16 before they go and protect, and so is the car before it freaks out and goes in a limp mode. So more than enough power. It's like 90-some% charge. Like all that C-Max, all that, plus 90% efficient at 2 ohms. Like 80 some, low 80 some at 1, like fuck, we're all, that's got to be so great on the battery system. Like it's going to support it without even blinking an eye. Like the batteries alone can support a 600,000 watt burp. I mean, it'll be a low voltage, but these kind of battery banks, like I believe RP Patel, he has like 900 to 1,000 amp hours of C-Max, and he's burping 240,000 watts worth of power roughly, and supports it. Like I have half that at best. That depending on what frequency I play. If I play a really low frequency out of tuning, I could see closer to like 1 ohm, half ohm, whatever, getting a lot of juice. But yeah, this build's gonna be fucking ridiculous. And building a steel, not just a steel cage, but a steel wall. Like no wood involved at all. It's all 1/4-inch plate with 1x2 square tubing on all sides, reinforcing it welded to the backside. And the baffles will be 1/2 inch thick, so even beefier there, and then steel braced internally on the sealed sides. But I'm gonna stand up here for a second. So I am in the process of welding these big ass panels. You can kind of get a good look here. Most of these are 4x4 opening. A couple of these, like these, are more like 2x4s intentionally, the way it's laid out for how it's going to lay in the vehicle, and there's certain things in the vehicle that I got to avoid to a certain degree, but you get the idea. Same as that guy there. So I got a mess of shit going on here, but got me a brand new Miller-Matic 211 running on 240 volt. Pretty fucking stout. I haven't even pushed it to half power yet, because I'm welding 1/4 inch to piping. But once this goes in and these surfaces meet on the inside, these steel plates, bump it up to more power, even though this can weld up to a 1/2 inch plate. And blend it all together. Everything be welded together. It's going to be quite the fucking thing. This panel alone here is over 300 and some pounds. Like, I'm a big guy, and I've been losing weight. So since you guys have seen me, I used to be like 470 some pounds. I'm down to like 360. Been working on that. I had a really bad accident, this and that, about a year ago. But anyways, like, I can lift it, but it's gonna fucking tip and fall. It's fucking heavy. Like 2 or 3 person job to put these in the vehicle. Same as that one. That's the bottom. You won't see these patterns. They will be flipped upside down. So this is the rough piece. So you won't see this part. This will be facing the top of the vehicle. This is the interior plate, which needs to be cleaned still. And then that one, those squares will be facing the floor. And same thing. Now I got to finish all welding these squares all together inside. to fully, adhere the plate to the tubing. Once those two are done, I'm going to build the two side pieces, the two walls, put them in there, use a car jack up the fucking ceiling, slide the walls in, square it up, plumb it up, and weld those to tack them up, weld them together. And then from there, I can build the back wall inside the vehicle, cut my fucking tubing, place it on the plate vertically, weld it in place, slide the fucking steel plate in from the inside, push it against there, weld it from the back of the vehicle. Then from there, I can take my angle iron, weld it inside the box, picture frame it to baffle and baffle to two different baffles inside, and then I can lay up my baffles and weld them in. And once that's done, I can then build my two loading walls, one for each side, and put them in and weld it in there. And then from there, I can do my trim paneling. The sealing off from the B pillar is going to be steel. Everything's steel. I'm going to seal it off, ceiling, pillars, floor, weld all that in, shape it, and then done the backside. And then from there, I can continue on with doing the wiring, installing the rear side, and then come back up to the front side of the cabin here and do all that, all that deadening work and prep that cabin and all that, and then do the doors for the speakers and all that shit and wrap that up and then put the interior back in, and then start testing. It sounds like a lot of work, which it is, but I'm only like 2 weeks in over here, not even a week. Like, I got the whole interior of the vehicle stripped out, like completely naked, all metal, cleaned up and all that. Let's see if I can kind of get in here. I have the dash I still have to pull out. I don't need to do that right away, so I'm going to wait. So, kind of get the idea here. There's a dash, a steering wheel still, but everything else is all ripped out. Kind of hard when I have a forward camera. He doesn't let me reverse it, but yeah, there's a lot to do still. But besides, like I was talking about with all the fucking stuff I did to the Jeep to support it with for all this weight, I did other stuff mechanically, like new axles, bearings, upper and lower balls, fucking control arms, fucking fuel system, spark plugs, fuel injectors, coil packs, radiator system, like all new stuff, because it's old. It only has 155,000 miles on it, but it's very clean, right? Any dents or anything like that. There will be a exterior vinyl, printed custom vinyl wrap for this vehicle when it's finished, and there'll also be planning for, once it changes, the same kind of vinyl wrap, going inside the steel enclosure, following the theme. The color theme is going to be blue, orange, white, and matte black. So those are the colors I'm going to follow with this build. It's going to look real nice. I don't know what else to say. There's so much to cover, but there's a lot of equipment going in this. There's a fucking A10 sound processor, a bunch of 8-inch Neo Pros, 3-inch sound, stereo integrity, fucking 3-inch drivers, bunch of fucking 1-inch soft dome, C3 jail tweeters, and all kinds of cool stuff going in this thing. And it's only going to get better throughout the years as I keep adding to it and building on. But yeah, I got a bunch of fucking shit to put in here. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be cleaner than the last one. It can be like a big wiring jungle mess. Only one alternator. Last one had 5. No need for five fucking alternators on this thing. That was pretty much a fail back then. It got to work. The engine couldn't handle it. Had problem after problem with belts and fucking too much tension on belts, breaking bearings inside the fucking on the shafts of the fucking alternators back then, and it was just a fucking pain in the ass. 4 was pretty good, but back in the day, we're running AGM, limited room in the back. This thing is a small vehicle. Like, this is a small compact SUV. This ain't no size of a Suburban or anything. The amount of shit I'm throwing in this thing, 1215s and fucking 12 amps and fucking 900 amp hours C-Max and all that, it's fucking impressive, because this is a small 2-row seater. Like, I'm like 365 pounds. I can't fit, like, before I took out the bench seats, like, I could barely fit in the back, like, sitting in the back row. It's fucking tiny in there. So, like, I'm stretching it. And the reason I'm able to do a lot of that is because, well, all my panels are 1 1/4 inches thick, 1 inch by 2 inch tubing, 1 inch on end, and a 1/4 inch plate. And it's so fucking strong that Nothing's flexing, nothing breaking for having such a small panel. That's the benefit of steel. It's more dense, it's going to be louder, it doesn't absorb. It's harder to work with, of course, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's going to be really cool, though. Got a couple more cosmetic things to add to the vehicle. I'm just waiting for the vinyl wrap to be done, and then put on a bunch of cool stuff on it. It's gonna look nice. I already changed out the headlights, taillights, aftermarket. Like, made this thing look a lot better, a lot more meatier, a lot more aggressive. Fuck, the thing sits off the ground like fucking 40 inches. I got like 32.5-inch tires on this bitch. My fucking F1, my brand new F-150 Tremor has like 33 tires stock, and I'm like, fuck, this thing, damn near, I put tires on it just as big as that. And I'm like, fuck. Oh, it'd be some meaty son bitches. So, heating up the garage still, and I got some welding to do and shit like that. I finished the garage before I started this build. None of this. This was the only part that was sheetrock. This old. The house is 23 years old. This is the only part, 'cause that's the inside firewall to the house. Otherwise, this 600 square foot fucking garage was never insulated. Never sheetrocked. It only had one 15 amp fucking breaker out here. So I ran a bunch of fucking 20 amp circuits out here and a 50 amp 240 right there. The panel, which is nice, the house breaker panel, is inside this wall here. So I took off the sheetrock here before putting this up, and before I did the drywall and the insulation, and ran all the circuits and breakers out here, added fucking like 20 more outlets, 20 amps, and like not even these are just extras. Like, got all kinds of cool shit over the ceiling over there, exhaust fan. Spent a bunch of money with R19 up there, R13 in the walls, R8 on the garage doors, and then a bunch of fucking 1/2-inch gypsum drywall board. Threw it all up, my father and I, and got this finished about 2 weeks ago. And really actually started building this once we got that done, because that's Minnesota up here. It gets pretty fucking chilly in the winter, so and a fucking 30,000 B2 heater fucking takes like 25 minutes to take it from 40 degrees in here to like 70, like sweating. Like, you start sweating if you're working when it gets up that high. Like, more uncomfortable. I'm in a t-shirt right now, and I just turned this thing on. It's pretty fucking nice. It's like 5 degrees outside currently. More than usable in here, so I'm able to build in here when I'm not doing edits and stuff. Because I work like 4 days a week, real hard, 12, 13 hours a day, doing edits, popping those out, keeping the app up. And then once I'm done that, Thursday, Fridays, Saturdays, I'm out here building this until it's finished. So I've been making good progress. Pretty much been by myself for the most part at the moment. Dad's came out and last weekend and cut a lot of the metal behind the B-pillar out of the cabin. So we got these channels on the sides where the side airbags were. Cut those out to gain more height and more width internal of the cabin without cutting through the actual vehicle. There's multiple layers, how it's all tacked together in the vehicle. He came out here, helped me cut out all that behind the B-pillars. Everything in front of B-pillar stock. We're not touching, it's just deadener and putting the panels back in. 2,000 pounds worth, like I said earlier. So we cut all that out to gain more height and more width internally without, doing anything illegally in any kind of org or anything like that. So we got that done, which was actually a lot of work. Sounds easy, but it's more difficult than you think. A lot of overhead fucking work with a grinder and shit. Your arms get tired. So I had to do a lot of that because, well, like I was saying, I had an accident March of 22. So it's not even been a year yet. It's December of 22, so almost a year, a few months away. I rolled my Ford Explorer ST on an icy patch of road in the countryside, lost control. Back end swung out so fucking bad that it caught the ditch. No shoulder, gravel, was ice, sucked me right in immediately, and I started rolling like 60 miles an hour. Broke my arm, my wrist, I had bars, pin screws in there, had surgery, broke a toe, broke a rib, split 2 fucking teeth in my mouth straight down the fucking middle, double fractured skull between my ears here, my ear here. Bunch of scarring, can't really see it, but it's behind the ear. I don't know if it shows, but this was hanging off, so the earlobe in this part here was, and part of the inner part right here was holding it on, but the whole thing was like hanging off. They had to suture this back on, and still about a dB and a half quieter in this year than this year because of that impact. It's been getting better. I developed a Bell palsy. I still kind of have it. It kind of shows in the camera a little bit. I can't see. I can't quite still raise this. Like I couldn't even. I could smell a little better. Like this, I wouldn't even move it all. It's like completely drooped and sagged. It's 8 months in. It's getting better. Still can't taste inside of my mouth. On this side of my mouth here, it's fucking. It sucks. It's horrible. TBI. I was puking for weeks straight. I couldn't stand up. Like I had to go into the surgical center. They have the arm done with the bar and pins and screws and the wrist and all that. A week after the accident. And they had to wheel me in there because I'd fucking stand up for a couple minutes. I'd start throwing up all over the place, like fucking showering. So it was really, really difficult. I recovered very well. A lot of head damage, a lot of head trauma. I still, I can feel where my head is concaved in here from that impact. I hit my head apparently on that B pillar next to my head here when I started rolling. Apparently, I blacked out. I was out for like 6-7 hours before I woke up. It was like late at night in the fucking ER in the hospital. Sucked. I was like, what the fuck? Bloodied and all beat up and naked on a table. But yeah, like I left an impression on the metal. Like it broke through the plastic and went and smashed the fucking support with my head. The arm, which you can still kind of see, this is a lot better, but it's still disformed and shaped. And they had to cut out a lot of dead tissue and shit like that too. And this arm, from what we can understand, the sunroof broke open obviously, and my arm went out the window multiple times. I rolled like 12, 13 times, and was just crushed on the ground over and over and over. Like this arm was supposed to be amputated. I refused. Like I still can't feel my arm. It's strong. It's pretty strong now. I can lift a lot of stuff. It's healed. It's fully healed now. The bar and screws are still going to stay in. But feeling below the wrist, it's numb. Like I can't feel my skin. I can't, like, there's no feeling to it. It just doesn't exist. It sucks, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's just fucked up. I still need to do some surgery in my mouth from all that fucking teeth breaking and shit. It's been rough. It's been real rough. You can kind of see it in my eye here. Like I don't know. It sucks. But anyways, I want you guys to go on that note. I actually have a delivery here for more steel. I can hear them outside, so I need to let you guys go. But that's an update. Look forward to making another video soon.